So this is the XAU USD, XAU USD analysis for Monday, the 29th of January. Now let's have a look what happened in prices and where they may likely go. So as we can see here, after finding supporting around the 134.50 level, we've had a very strong move. Didn't see much of a reaction around 13.44 or 13.57, and we traded quite strongly. Here on the XAU USD, we've had a brief pullback down to test the 13.57. We didn't quite get up to 13.67.10. We did have some sell side momentum come back in to test the 13.57 level. Oscillate somewhat ranged in around this level, in around 13.57 and 13.62, essentially 63. In around 13.57 and 13.64, in around $7 range there. For we saw this strong sell side momentum, possibly a news related candle just here, bringing us all the way down to 13.44. Came down towards this 13.44. I didn't trade beneath it by much. Let's just see. Our lows were 13.42.21, so within $2 or so. Our lows were just down there. We have seen some found supporting around 13.44 for a test of the 13.57 level now. In around the 13.57, we came up to, let's just have a quick check. Came up to 13.57, pretty much, yeah, 13.57 on 13.56.96. So essentially 13.57 on two occasions just there. Again, we saw the rejection. We didn't see it the first time around. We tested from above to find support, but on this occasion we tested and found resistance. We saw sell side momentum come into the market. Had a brief recovery, further sell side momentum. So we are seeing some sell side momentum. It could be residual effect of this possibly news related candle, which was bearish. So we've had a recovery, we've had a retracement, sorry. We do look poised for further downside momentum. So if we see this continuation of downside momentum, we'll see whether 13.44 does hold for support for a potential bounce up towards that 13.57, beyond which we're looking for 13.64 and 13.67 to the upside. If, however, we see the further downside continuation, and on the second test we aren't able to hold the 13.44 level, we are looking to see our prices react around the 13.40 level. In around 13.40, we also have the 200 premium average, further adding to the confluence and therefore increasing the likelihood of a potential bounce. Again, potential bounce, I suppose, is to be somewhat limited considering how close we are to the lows of this news related candle. But in around 13.40, see where we do get a bit of a bounce towards our 13.44, beyond which again the levels that we've previously identified would come into focus. If, however, we don't 13.40 after breaking down from 13.44, we are looking to see our prices react all the way down to 13.34.51 level. It is quite a bit away and would pretty much retrace this entire bullish move here. But again, we have to keep it in mind as it may come into focus. Now, with that said, I've pretty much identified all the levels that I'm looking at to the upside as well as the downside. So let's just have a look at the higher time frames. So I've head over to the monthly chart first on the XAU USD. So over on the monthly chart, so over on this monthly chart, we obviously we had a big run up in 2011. We've had a pullback. As you can see, we've posted a high there. We've posted a low there. So we've got a low, higher low, and in the scheme of things, so we've got a low, we've got a higher low, and prices do seem to be recovering slightly here on the monthly chart on gold. Again, we have not turned around in quite a while, so we'll see how prices reacting around these highs here. If we do form a bit of a double top and we see some sell side momentum, these highs around here, we are looking at the highs of 2016 from July. We're looking at in around the 13.75 level. We'll see whether we do form a bit of a double top around 13.75, and we do see that sell side momentum taking us beneath, say, bringing us down to say 1200. If we don't see the sell side momentum of 1375 again, we could be poised for a further upside continuation in the XAU USD. But ultimately, the recovery has been well, this move upwards has been has has taken quite a lot longer, so there does seem to be there might be a bit of caution in this market. There isn't the enthusiasm that brought this market upwards, or the enthusiasm that brought it downwards, or the pessimism which brought it downwards. So we're not seeing a clean move to the upside, but it is a move to the upside nonetheless, even though it's punctuated by some bearishness here and there. It is still ultimately slightly trending to the upside here on the XAU USD on the monthly chart. But let's just have a look at the weekly chart. So on the old weekly chart, what can we see here? So on the weekly chart, we have our lows there, slightly higher low. Again, slightly higher low again. We've got another higher low above the 200 period average, which I suppose is a good sign. Now, what we can see here is we've had a move up towards that 400 period average. We saw some sell side momentum. Again, 400 period average, we did see some sell side momentum. So sell side momentum off the 400, sell side momentum off the 400. We do seem to have had a negative reaction to the 400 period moving average just here. Again, as indicated by the wick. And the 400 period moving average is currently sitting in and around 1363.26. And our most recent highs on the weekly time frame here was 1365.95. So $3 or so above it, but in and around that 400 period moving average, we are seeing some, does appear to be having some resistance in around the 400 period moving average. But again, we've not seen that strong sell side momentum on this weekly chart here. So we'll see how this week develops, whether we do see strong bearishness and we do see further downside momentum coming to this market. And again, that would be off this 400 period moving average. But we'll see whether we do just have a brief pullback before another test of the 400 period moving average, possibly a break and a move towards that 1375 level, the highs of 2016. Ultimately, here on the XAU on a weekly chart, as you can see, if we were to draw a rough trend line, again, prices do look poised for further upside continuation. Or if we do pull back downwards towards where the trend line would be, and we do hold, again, it would be a higher low supporting bullish prices. Eventually, possibly wedge developing, we could either break out to the upside or the downside. But due to the higher time frames like the month, they are possibly looking for a move to the upside. Let's just have a look at the daily chart before wrapping up here on the XAU USD. So over to the daily chart, and as you can see here, we had quite a bit of selling coming into the interest rate hike. We did have the interest rate hike, and we saw a very strong recovery on the XAU USD. Had a bull flag pullback. We've had a strong move to the upside, so we've trended quite strongly. Quite a bit of buy side momentum into this market, and after we were in a bit of a trading range there, had strong sell side momentum. After which we've had a V-shaped reversal, and strong buy side momentum in this market. So on this daily chart, as you can see, there is this bearish day here. Pretty sizable candle, but the fact that the very next day we did see some buy side momentum come into the market and ultimately closed the day bullish, suggested that the bears weren't able to have the downside sell side momentum continuation, ultimately punctuated by it's normally in big moves we normally see it's not unusual to see strong candles follow the immediate trigger candle. So in this case, we've had the bullish move. Ultimately, we'll see how the 29th develops, whether we do have further bearish momentum bringing us back down, or whether we do have another bullish day, or we oscillate here for a while forever before possibly trading higher on the XAU USD. And with that said, that pretty much covers everything in regards to the old XAU USD. Thanks for watching.